My man, what a beautiful library, man.
Thank you, Stan. Thank you.
What's up with the green light in the back? Is that some well-being
Of
hack
course,
that
like
you've...
yeah. I mean, we have already sunset, and the light settings already coming.
So,
Because I
so
mean now have a much more brighter light than usual because now it's already sunset, and then it's a red light coming. I think by the end of the hour it will be more red.
so why did you pick green?
Green is my lifestyle. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. By the way, I'm having my coffee with me down here, Artem. What are you drinking? What are you having?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of coffee, I prefer the herbs, and I have a special brew from Siberia forest. We actually done it in April this year. This kind of elixir called brain elixir, made of 10 plants and adaptogens, the herbs. Yeah.
So much things to talk about and discuss. But for those of you who are tuning in right now, I'm here with my friend Artem, who's based in Dubai. And if you look at his Instagram account, we're gonna post it in the comments. You're gonna get some inspiration by the way he lives, uh, not just the way he practices and is an example of somebody who is really into what he teaches and preaches, well-being, but also he's just having fun and enjoying life. So super excited to hear more about your story and the suggestions that you have for people to improve their well-being. But before we get there, Artem, why don't you share a little bit about your story, your background, and just share with the audience who are you?
Thank you, Stoyan. I appreciate your invitation to this podcast, to this live. And yeah, I mean, simple story for me. I have strong passion about aviation and healthy, or call it well-being lifestyle. And actually, it's coming like from my childhood. I was dreaming about being a pilot from early ages. I mean, look at my father. He's flying still, and it's just child dream. And then I was always focusing to be a pilot. And then I joined the university, graduate, High University of Aviation in Russia. Used to live in Finland, where I was studying also. And then, I mean, even parallel with this, I was always having passion about the culinary, the way the food itself, and the way it's growing, the way it's like the chefs preparing it, and then always a taste and combination, all this stuff. And I was doing kind of culinary as a hobby for my friends and cadets, especially during the university ages, where is a kind of half military aviation cadets, you always want to have good home food, yeah, but your lack of this, and yeah, there are some guys who can prepare it, and I was one of those guys. And then after university, I was flying as an airline pilot already in the airline in Europe, and after a few years, it went bankrupt, and I was just looking for any other options over the world, and then I just moved to Dubai, where I based for last 5 years, and I start also once I moved to Dubai, I was going more deep and deep into culinary. I was call it science. I was doing molecular cuisine, sous vide cuisine, all the stuff. Was doing kind of culinary tours around the world because I have ability to fly, to see different cultures, experience different cultures in the food. And then I think I got to the point where I was kind of pro in preparing food, or even in understanding how the food is growing, like how to plant a seed to make it grow. And then at some point, I just was questioning myself, what's going on in my body when this food is going to my body? What chemistry? What's the science of chemistry? What's the magic? Because it should be something else than just physical taste or physical reaction of the body. You have to be something more. At the same time, like, yeah, because I'm engineering by my profession, yeah, I was always kind of looking for strong answers, not just, random one. And then I decided to join plant-based fine dining cuisine in LA, where I was studying, from the science point of view, nutrition basically program and how food does affect us. And then after a few years, when I was graduating it, I was just basically impressed, because I start going deeper into the science of nutrition, and then changing my diet completely to plant-based because of the science again. And then I think magic happens, like your brain basically changing. Yeah, I mean, it's neuroplasticity is even called. Yeah, you created the new neurons because of the food. You having the different microbiome, in your gut. Basically, it gives you different decisions, different approach to problem solving, decision making, and then you differently 100% perceive this world. The perception of the world is changing, and yeah, I mean, then people around you changing. Universe give you, I think, super nice, talented, positive, open-minded people. And then, like, all my friends, they noted it, and then they start like asking me, to share these things. And then, okay, I mean, I was sharing to friends, and then friends to friends, and then like a bigger audience start coming to me asking, like, okay, can you share it on your, I don't know, social media? And social media was kind of coming during these years. And then my friends created this Spiro Cooking, the Instagram page, where they said, okay, you're in Dubai, we're in Moscow, over the world, just, share your story, share your recipes, share your practice, because it by this time, it was not only about nutrition anymore, it was about sleep, it was about like mental health, physical body, all this stuff. It's a holistic approach to the health. And then like I was starting sharing this story, and then people loving it. And then, I mean, when you have thousands of people, you can't talk to individually to everyone. And then I was starting creating, e-learning courses. And then after that, people around me who was experts in the holistic health, they were kind of also wanted to share the stories and to share the kind of the knowledge via e-learning courses. And then we were creating more and more. And like after 3.5 years, we have 30,000 participants in e-learning courses, and big community of people. We have more than 3 million people, followers of our ambassadors of the brand, and it's all about loyalty also. We kind of, in a community, we support each other. I mean, it's everything based on our values, of my values, of the values of the company, and yeah, pretty much it.
And you sleep better at night because you know that in one way or another you kind of supported people to have a little bit of a better life or more. So
100%.
that's part of the whole thing. And you kept on referring to science shows you that the food that you eat has a huge impact on the way you live, the way you take decisions. Specifically in your case, you said, you mentioned that like the plant-based nutrition is your lifestyle, your diet right now. What is some of this science like? Can you share with us? Because I think a lot of people are interested to hear why this guy, what is the science he's referring to? Like, could you give us some data or something to kind of back up this statement?
I mean, 100%. You see behind me, like, yeah, like is a bookshelf, like full of the science, and yeah, our approach, as I said, like my specifically my point of view was okay, to find the science backed resources or knowledge into that. But then now, as a project moved on, we have completely huge R&D going on, in that we're accumulating different perspective of different cultures, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, Tibetan medicine, from west to east, and everything actually tells the same. But unfortunately, in modern world, corporates want to tell different things, yeah, and then corporates start, I think, giving the information not like when we're adults, when we're early, ages, when we're childs, basically. Children's is more influence people by corporates, because in school, in universities, nobody teach us science of nutrition. Nobody teach us about science of mental health, mindfulness, so on. Yeah, and this is a problem. And the people nowadays, they're looking in, they browse in the internet for finding the answers, like finding the science, as you said, like can you tell us the science? But the problem is that people they're not able to find these answers, because the internet just like a huge amount in information which is not given the right, basically, answers to their questions, and then people get lost into that, and this is a problem. They're getting overstressed, they distress all the time, and actually the mother earth, the nature, is giving us the best answers ever. Yeah, I mean, nowadays people more stressed, we're going to explore even to the forest, yeah, or to the sea, or just like barefoot, to feel the ground. This grounding connection to the earth is giving the different perception of the reality. And the same with the food. Like once you direct your attention into like what is like what's the food I'm eating, like how it was created, how it was grown, and all this stuff, then you start understanding. But in terms of like R&D, it's a long topic, but I would say nowadays, I think the most close one, everyone is hearing about the gene tests and microbiome tests, and it's getting popular, it's getting trendy. But why is getting trendy? Why is getting popular? People again, like they're not getting this. And actually, the answer to this, like for example, our microbiome, our 3 kg of bacteria in our gut, basically give us answers who will be tomorrow, what kind of decision we will be taking, how what's the way of our thinking process will be tomorrow. And actually, there are a lot of books, but one of them I think is called "Gut is the Second Brain." But actually, yeah, the gut is the first brain, because by the electrical signals it go to our brain and then stimulates, and basically your reality depends on what's inside of you.
Wonderful, man. I think that was a good answer to this question. We had the first couple of comments. Actually, there's a question coming, so I guess let's dive with a question, and then we can get into the topic of the day. So Aysen is saying, "Hi, great podcast," and then she has a question for you. Hi, Artem. What is your opinion on coffee?
I mean, this podcast called the coffee, yeah, coffee and
Coffee.
productivity.
There you go. Hey, but look, tell me the honest answer. What is your
Okay,
opinion about coffee?
okay. I think I just like bring one of our point of philosophy of our project, what we're doing. For example, when people come into us and then asking how to quit eat meat, or how to quit, to eat something, or grains, or white bread, or whatever, yeah, sugar, salt, and we always not pointing attention of the person, because the attention is an energy, yeah, and we never direct the attention what not to eat. We always ask what do you eat, yeah, and then okay, once we figure out like what kind of diet the person have, and then we will try to find the best solution for individual. Basically, for example, the person like to drink beer, and then he loves beer so much, and then he over drink it all the time. Yeah, he can't enjoy just one glass. For example, he drinks like 5 glasses, And then like, because of the taste, for example, yeah. And then we're finding like a kind of, you know, the brew drink which is similar to this, for example, kombucha, yeah, the brew tea. And then there is no alcohol inside. It's very good for your gut health. You know, there are a lot of fermented microbiomes inside. And then like we start implementing the small daily solutions for the person. Or for example, we're asking what kind of, you know, legumes the person eats, and then answer is I don't know, like Heinz, you know, everyone knows Heinz beans, yeah. And then like we start direct attention of the person. Okay, go to the grocery store and just, you know, take a picture of the legumes shelf, and then like the person will find out that there is like a lentil, there is chickpea, you know, different kind of beans, you know, 50 different legumes in the nearest grocery. Yeah, because the person did not pay attention to this. That's why he think like it did not exist. But once you bring the attention to something, then you will start focusing on this, you know, and you will automatically forget about like your beer or your junk food or fast food or whatever. And once you will pay attention and give you best kind of small daily solutions, and then which will bring you good habits, and this habits will create kind of, you know, positivity and mental clarity, and then again I think understanding, you know, and then self-love, because if you do good things for yourself, you will not damage it, you know, during the weekends, you know, or at least not hard, yeah. And then like
Back to the question. What's your opinion on
and then
coffee?
again, the coffee. I mean, I personally don't drink coffee, but when the people asking me like what my opinion about coffee, I mean, the best solution is if you love coffee, as I was loving before, you know, bitter taste, which is, you know, double espresso from Peru, less acidity, you know, good quality. I mean, choose the best one of available ones, yeah. And then I never recommend drink coffee with milk, especially dairy milk, yeah. It's 100%. If you love coffee, just drink coffee. Drink coffee before 12, because if you drink after midnight, after midday, you will just basically ruin your sleep, your deep sleep, your REM sleep stage, and it will affect. You know, when people even say, "I sleep as," I mean, I don't remember. I sleep very well. I mean, it's not the case sometimes. Yeah, if you don't monitor your sleep, you might know that your lack of deep sleep or REM sleep stage, and caffeine affects so much. As the other thing, why I don't drink coffee, because I am trying to avoid any stimulants to my hormones, because coffee is a caffeine. It gives you a reaction of your dopamine level. It basically people in the mornings they can't start working because I mean they need the coffee. It's kind of routine habit, and then because their brain want like get a reward before to do something or get reward after to do something. I mean, I'm quite lucky. I mean, I have my self-control, discipline, you know, and actually the self-control and discipline, I believe, in the world, giving is one of the best, and I think the important things, because it gives you fundamental freedom. You can be free because you're not stimulated by anything.
Can you maybe share a little bit more about this? You mentioned coffee is a stimulant. Like, what other stimulants people are overusing sometimes? And also, the second part of the question is, how did your life change when you decided to let go of all these so-called addictions?
I think the one of the most stimulant in the world nowadays, social media. It's just I think number one is 100%. And I see how like people around, or even my friends, you know, they got addicted, they got affected by social media. They're not living their life. Basically, they're wasting their time looking for other lives. They're getting a lot of distress. They're getting FOMO and different things. You know, especially young generation you see how so much influence that basically the brain activity, the science says, it's just changing completely. Like now the generation alpha is completely different people than we are with you, and self-control and discipline is the most, I think, advanced way to overcome this modern technology, where all these corporates want to give you information that you overdoses all the time. You don't need it. And sometimes you just need to create the digital detox, I call it. Before, when I was getting rid of kind of this addiction, I was not addicted because my work itself is connected to social media. Yeah, we're always in touch with the people. I'm always kind of in social media by my work, but I'm trying to limit it maximum to 1 hour a day, not more. I usually go into social media just to post something, and very rare, like I'm connected with. I usually connected with my friends and my circle, but I very rare going out of this, yeah, because otherwise the experience, my experience showed me that it's not worth, yeah. And if we go back to the coffee, I was addicted to coffee. I was just, love this bitter taste in the morning. Double espresso 2 times, three times, never at home. I was going just to the best coffee shop, just to taste it, to smell it, and so on. And one day, especially after the pandemic, after lockdown, it was least, and then everyone was going, to the most favorite places, and I just went straight. And then from this day, I was starting like going every day or sitting there drinking. But at the end, story is just for me. I found coffee is not good for my microbiome, basically for my gut health, and science shows the same. Basically, the coffee reduce your ability of your gut to absorb vitamins and minerals. That's why maybe you notice that in Italian coffee shops, after espresso, they always give you mineral water still, just just to cover yourself with the minerals, because you're just getting rid of by the coffee. And I just was feeling this, and coffee it just give you, people call it energy, but I think it plays kind of the role of the energy in advance. It's not real energy. Yeah, everything is the energy, but coffee stimulates being as a catalysator kind of in your body, and increase your metabolize, but give you this energy, and then you have to pay it back. Yeah, that's why like after the coffee reaction is over, you just you're not in the same mood, the same ability. And the beauty of this, when I decided just to quit it, because I just don't like it. I don't like it more than I like it, and that's why why. And then at the same time, we are as a company, we're producing and developing this nice herbs, which is not giving you energy in advance. It's just discover energy in yourself, and then give you as a natural source, no coffee and so on. I was just deciding, okay, I will try, I will see. After 1 week, of course, first week is the hardest one, when you smell it, you're going crazy. And then okay.
You went cold turkey. You went just completely off, or it was like decreasing and.
No, just completely. If I decide something, I just stop it. I don't need to fool myself that okay, I will decrease it, and then okay, it's not 2 cups, it's 1.5, or it's not 1. It's no. If you just decide, just do it. Yeah, go big or go home. Yeah.
Okay, so the first week was really difficult, and then
yeah, first week was difficult. Second week, okay. You can live without it. Yeah, and then the beauty starts after the, I think, 3rd week or 1 month, and then you discovering how how good are you even by the evening, how your energy. And the most beautiful, like you have a stable, you have balanced. Yeah, it just further is to the question of about well-being. It's a balancing, yeah, and you have a balanced life, and there is no like a morning, daytime, evening, separate and different kind of energies. No, it's the same. And then you discover in yourself more ability to be disciplined, which will lead you to more productivity also in different areas. If you can control your diet, if you can control your even coffee drinking, yeah, you can do much more with your life. You can do your project, which is like you're playing 100 times, and then you can do all work, yeah, because you control your life. And ability to control your life, execute and accomplish your goals, I think it's a way of be productive for me.
So you're building self-discipline. You're building this ability to be in charge with every small step that you take to improve your well-being.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you're responsible for yourself. You're, I mean, there is no one except you, yeah, to control yourself. And actually, I mean, there are some people, I would say, like, there are some options. And the statistic shows us, for example, when the people come into our company, to change or improve the diet, 95% of them, they're influenced by the fear of death, fear of disease, fear of something. They saw a movie, and then like they talk to friends, and something like a click, inside. And yes, 95% of people like this, and only 5% can kind of have desire to explore their own journey, just to have own motives for that, and they just totally have full control of their decisions, and they just love to do so.
Yeah, and when you talk about a few minutes ago, talk about that coffee is actually the after effect is it's actually dragging from your energy, right? At the beginning you're feeling that you have this boost of energy, but a few hours afterwards, or maybe a few minutes, I don't know the science, it can actually drain your energy. It reminded me about the book by Chris Bailey called The Productivity Project, where he talks about, he calls them energy drainers, and he puts in this sample alcohol, coffee, sugary, like candy, chocolate, those kind of things. And he says, I don't want to never eat this. That's his philosophy, right? I just want to be conscious about what I put into my body, because yes, maybe I put some coffee into my body and I get a little bit of boost, but then in a couple hours I'll have my energy drained. Maybe I have this chocolate bar and I feel a little bit boosted, but in a couple hours I'll have to pay for it. It's kind of like you're taking from the account.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a couple of beers with your friends and you have this good change of state, but then in the morning you have a headache. So what he says is the problem is that often we don't care about our future self. We just care about them now. We don't care about the consequence of our decisions. What if your future self was your best friend? So he's like, just ask yourself, if your future self was your best friend, how would you treat him or her? Yes, of course, once in a while you're gonna give him a headache, and but how do you want to treat your best self? Like, because you treat your future self as a stranger, as somebody random, and that shouldn't be like that. Which leads me to, and by the way, we have a little question from Daria Smirnova, who's asking, he's saying, "Hi Artem," and he's asking, "Are you flying right now?"
Thank you, Daria. Yeah, 100% Stoy, and I agree with you, what just you mentioned. And it just reminded me about like you projection yourself on your future self. and aviation related, we call it fly ahead of the airplane. You know, once you are in a flight deck, once you are a pilot, you have to always think forward. You know, like you have to be ahead of the airplane, because once something already happened, you have to have already solution. Yeah, and because the airplane is a fast-moving vehicle, you have to always think like, okay, what will be the next course of actions if this happened, this happened. You know, we have to have always kind of projection. The same like if for us, as I said, 100%, just think forward a bit. You know, like I mean, be now and here, but think forward what's gonna happen, because you directly influence yourself. About aviation, yes, of course, I'm flying, not so much as before, and because I'm enjoying my life. You know, my projects, what we are doing right now. Super excited about FoodTech and health tech projects, what we are doing. But yes, sky is a limit, and then you're getting inspiration there. You're getting the most, I think, beautiful sunrises, sunsets, and then it's a romantic vibe, and it's inspirational vibe. It gives you creativity, you know, the improve your intellect abilities. Yeah, I love it.
Artem, why should well-being be our number one priority?
Okay. Good question. But as said before, for example, for me, productivity is to execute and accomplish whatever I plan in a certain period of time. And to do so, I have to be in a flow state. Yeah. I have to eliminate, you know, this laziness, for example. Everyone have a laziness. Yeah. I have to eliminate this laziness, because the laziness basically is when you're giving control to others, people, or world to live your life. You're not deciding for this, yeah, and you don't want this. And to be productive and to be in a flow state, you have to have a balanced, full of energy life. And to do so, you have to go deeper in yourself. You have to discover this energy and answer this all questions. Why are you doing this? You know, what you want to do, how you're gonna do this. And most important, you have to be always in a balance, in a harmony. Yeah, because if the people, for example, they go in, you know, in a true materialistic horizontal way of being, you know, like they're always looking for money, for example, and doing only business. And then at some time, story shows that sometimes people are very rich, but they're not truly happy. And this is a story because they didn't pay attention to their kind of spiritual or mental health, or self-discovery, or mindfulness, and so on. Otherwise, it can be opposite. Yeah, some people, you know, go into to the forest for a few years and then totally diving into the spiritual awakening, self-discovery, and then they just totally don't want to be in this physical world. You know, they just, you know, angry. Actually, sometimes people even angry and sad, and then they cry about this, what happened all around. And then sometimes it basically the world get rid of them, because the world is physical world we are living in. Yeah, and then unfortunately, you know, when you don't want to live here, the world will act on you. And the most the important way to get your well-being is to get a balance between these two, between your vertical spiritual mindfulness discovery and your materialistic world. Yeah, and to get this balance and to get this harmony, you have to start from yourself. Yeah, because we all have these bodies, we are living in, and then okay, you will add your activity, physical activity, and then at the same time, physical activity will stimulate your brain. They will give you new neurons, which neurons will give you new answers, decisions, you know, and so on. I mean, the science shows that neuroplasticity, the way our brain change caused by the physical activity, is so much important to our work and to be productive. Same time you go into mindfulness, yeah, nowadays, you know, during the mental crisis era, you just get, you know, 5-10 minutes per day, you know, just to be with yourself, to notice, to monitor what's going on inside you, what inside your brain, your thoughts, and your way of thinking. And then, okay, you balance this. And then same time you go into your social being, you meeting your friends, new people, you socialize yourself, and then universe will give you so much talented and interesting people around you as you are, yeah. As you discover yourself, the people will discover you, and you will discover people. It's everything super connected. Same time you go into your spiritual being, you know, okay, you're trying to understand that it's not only what we see, it's not only 5 senses world, it can be more than 5 senses. Yeah, we all have intuition, for example, yeah, and it's 100%, it's proved by us that intuition is something inside us which is tell us, you know, sometimes more than we believe by our brain, because it's coming from inside out. And same time you are seeking for your belongings in this world, yeah. You're looking for your job, you're looking for your work, you're looking for your dedication to this world, and then you're finding kind of the way you want to express yourself to this world, and you're working in this physical field. And then when you connect and balance and harmonize all these beings, you get in this well-being, which is called, and this well-being will lead you to productivity, will lead you to success, will lead you to accomplish and execute all other things. That's why I think that everything starts from ourselves, and that's why well-being is 100% number one priority.
So let's imagine now that there's somebody out there, a very ambitious professional, an entrepreneur, or maybe a business leader, and they decide, I've been working so hard, I've been running so fast, I want to take care of my well-being. I'm not paying enough attention to myself, to my body, to my spirit. Where should they start? Like, is there some kind of a framework you'd recommend, or where should they start, and what would be some practical things you'd recommend for somebody that decides now is the time to finally pay attention to myself?
I mean, it's very popular questions, and the popular answers not on Monday, please. Just start right now. You know, these small, as I called before, daily changes. You know, daily improvements. And I want to point on the one of the most important thing is sleep. Yeah, start with your sleep, because people don't pay attention to the sleep. They think it's something like we just basically waste our time. We don't know yet why we're doing so. And I can accomplish, you know, my friends, then I can accomplish, execute, you know, hundreds of projects if I wouldn't sleep, you know. No, it's not right. Yeah, I mean, sleep is a part of our life, is a part of our world. Yeah, almost all species. Yeah.
So what
Animal.
are some specific recommendations in terms of improving your sleep quality?
Sleep quality can be improved by 3 things, like your preparation for your sleep yourself, preparation of your room, your bed, and then sleeping itself. And to prepare yourself, just 2 hours, I mean, from my experience, what I do, 2 hours before sleep, I just, you know, remove all screen time, and then I just trying to reduce the light. The best is the red light, because you wanna don't see the blue light, which is awake you brain, and the red light or true tone is, you know, mobile phone nowadays, so laptop have a true tone, yeah, it's called technology, or yellow light. It's not simple. It's just 100% for your well-being. The corporates want you to have a longer, full of energy life, to pay more money, to themselves. And then this yellow light basically will create effect in your brain that okay, it's sleep time, and your cortisol level will go down, and your melatonin level will go up, which is basically totally natural, and this artificial light will destroy it. Yeah, don't sleep. Sorry, before sleep 2 hours. Never do iPhone or laptop. Just to open your open your book and so on. About your space where you sleep in, temperature, very effective way. Reduce your temperature. 19 degrees, 20 degrees. Prepare your bed. If you I mean, basically your sleep room have to be for sleep. Yeah, you come into your bedroom, and then you have a nice 90-20 degrees, and then you switch off. Yeah, usually 2-3 degrees per night. It will increase, but it's fine. And then black curtains. Yeah, you don't want to see the light during the sleep. Have to be black. It's everything affected your deep sleep stage. And then about the sleep itself, try to go 10 p.m. if before possible, will be much better, because the deep sleep phase is one of the most important phase, because it's kind of natural. I call it anti-aging stage, or pillow, which is give you ability to regenerate new cells, to process, integrate all information you receive during the daytime. You will be having more creativity next day. You will have more right decision next day. Is 100%. And we're getting the most our deep sleep is just before midnight, and 2-3 hours after the midnight. With a natural sunrise, you will never get the deep sleep stage, the most important thing. And once you wake up, also a very kind of integration part of your sleep. Once you wake up, I mean, first 30 minutes, never touch your phone. Spend 10 minutes just discovering and noticing everything around you. And one of the most effective way also is just if you have these options, just to go outside, outdoor. If there is even no sun there, but if it's time after sunrise, you will get sunlight even through the clouds. It will awake your body, it will awake your brain, it will stimulate your brain, your body, and because we are kind of all interconnected, and ability to get sunlight even through the clouds is a new reach, I would call it, because everyone's stuck at homes, everyone in apartments, in the offices, 24/7. And even in Dubai, I would say, like, people they're having deficiency of vitamin D. Can you imagine? We're living in a sunny city, but almost half, 50%, yeah, lack of vitamin D.
Is that because people stay more time at home, or is just
Yeah, I mean, you just basically at home, and then you're driving to your office. You're staying at office. You will never go outdoor, and then you're going home, and then okay, during the weekends you're going out, but it's not enough. Yeah, just spend 30 minutes at least, outdoor. It will change completely perception of your organism.
Is it also in a way connected to it? And I want you to also dig into that a little bit. It connected to movement and the importance of movement. Like you mentioned, like when you wake up, ideally go out. Is that one of the reasons? Okay, one thing is the impact on the sun, but also movement. Why is movement important? A lot of people talk about exercise, but if we can just speak about movement, why movement is important? Do we sometimes neglect movement as part of our daily routine?
Yeah, perception of people about the movement, they think like, okay, it's a gym, I need to go to the gym, I need to have a fitness trainer. I mean, it's not right, yeah, because they distress themselves. You have to have it's called eustress, yeah, which is beneficial stress. Basically, you stress your physical body with kind of intense training, high intensity training, or just walking around, or just you. I love to swim. I'm swimming in the morning. Yeah, someone wants to run. I mean, every physical movement will be right for you. You just have to find the best for you. Yeah, I mean, when people focusing on the weight loss, weight loss coming 95% from the nutrition and from your mental health, and then 5% from your physical activity. Yeah, you can just sweat as someone, like, and then at the same time have a ever done all this stress self during the work, you will never lose weight. You will never be healthy in this way. That's why, like, the physical activity have to be again balanced. Everyone have to find whatever they love to do, because when you do something what you love to do, you're doing much better, and then you improve yourself. I mean, first of all, you will be the better person, and then you will give this energy to different people. People will give to each other, and then again, all connected.
What would you like to tell if you had a chance to go and talk to your 15 years old version of Artem? What would be your advice to the 15 years old Artem right now?
Uh, it's a good question, but like, yeah, I prefer, of course, the life what happened already. I mean, I wouldn't change it, because it's my experience. Yeah, I
So
mean,
you're just gonna go say, dude, keep going. It's so good.
yeah, just because I experience, and challenges and difficulties, and like worst case scenarios, and of course it's not always a Sunday, like it was not always like um, the best time ever before. Nowadays, yes, but you everyone on their journey, and then this journey is kind of unique, and you don't want to change it. But what you want is to notice it. You want to be aware of this journey. What I see sometimes, people, they just waste their lives, even they're getting kind of good experience, but they don't notice it. Like, especially now with social media, every day, like day after day, they don't remember what happened yesterday, or 2 days ago. I mean, last year, if you have ask the person what he did like last week, nobody knows. Yeah, because they in a process, and sometimes people forget to just notice, to monitor, be kind of observer of your life, and you would much more appreciate, you will be much more grateful. Is 100%, just give yourself time to be grateful for some small things which you have now, because everyone can be grateful, and then whatever challenges you face, it's just the ability you to see from different point of view, and there is no right and wrong, not good and bad. It's just everything unique, and we put all these external programs into our mind, and then we decide very subjectively that, okay, it's a wrong, it's a right, it's a bad, it's a good. But sometimes when we observe ourselves, what we are doing, where we are, what do we want, it's very helpful.
And I love what you mentioned previously about people sometimes weigh too much on the spiritual, and sometimes they weigh too much on the material. And in fact, you can actually have both. you can actually find your own truth and way to have this well-being. Because I think sometimes people will say well-being, the first thing that comes to mind, and maybe the only thing that comes to mind, is health, which is super important. But well-being, isn't that to be well? And being well, one thing is to be healthy, but there's a lot more to add, right? To get out of life, to be well. And we have a question from Daria again. Daria, thank you for being very engaged. Which is, do you think you'd be the same person if you hadn't moved to Dubai? How did moving affect you? Maybe how did moving affect your well-being?
Good question, and actually is quite popular in terms of the people, the way they think that something affects you. But you have to remember that me personally, move myself. Me personally decided to move on. Me personally was looking for any opportunities over the world, and the ability to direct yourself, or ability to make a decision based of your audience, of your environment, is very important. And that's why, like, if I would not move to Dubai, it will be a different way of living. Yeah, I mean, you never know, like, what kind of. And again, there is no good or bad, or any other kind. It's just basically different, and we live our lives ourselves, and then every way is unique, and then you I think it's not right to think that what will be if it would be, because it's happening like this. Yeah.
But I gotta say, man, I mentioned before the show, when I go and check your Instagram account, it's inspiring, man. Like, just a cool dude surfing, enjoying the sun, these beautiful buildings, cars, so it's very inspiring. You guys should go and what was your Instagram handle, Artem?
I mean, the nickname,
Yeah,
yeah, Spiro Pilot.
Spiro Pilot, S
Yeah.
P I R O.
SPIRO, yeah, Pilot.
Pilot. Yeah, so go check him out. Very inspiring. And what I like about your attitude as well is you seem to be a very chill dude. Just very taking things very. Life is good. Things are well. How do you kind of sustain this peace of mind and this easiness towards life?
I would say, I mean, I I naturally maybe a kind of peaceful guy, but I also pretty emotional in a way, like to express my feelings sometimes. Uh, but again, challenges which we are going through, events, people, situations, at the end, business, or my profession, it basically gives you, like a piece by piece, some kind of competencies, and depends based on your ability, how you can take it, how you can integrate into your life. And the other thing, I think, because I would say I discovered uh, what I love to do and what I'm doing, gives me kind of fundamental motivation and ability to be focused and concentrate myself, and express the natural energy from inside out. And then same time, the people around me, amazing peoples, I'm very grateful for that. And it just as a magnet, I think it works. You find, first of all, you find in yourself, then you express these things, then you're getting back. And but from the point of habits, again, like your nutrition so much affects it, your sleep, your I don't know, like small daily meditation, effects. But I would say nutrition one of the cause of this, because if you even think about like food or diet of the people, and you take again like all these horizontal and vertical lines of development person, yeah, horizontal, let's be the materialistic way, and then vertical, let's be the spiritual way. And if you see like the guys who doing like a kind of dirty business, you know, kind of heavy decisions or involve I don't know, even politics, yeah, you will never see them like a plant-based yoga mindfulness guys, you know. You will see them like kind of hard vibes, you know, very low energy in terms of the quality people, because they consume a lot of animal food. They basically even don't care about what kind of food they eat. They over consume sometimes. They drink, you know, they party. They kind of in this life, yeah. But they very can be successful in the politics, in the money making, in the businesses. And then you see the guy who, you know, yoga experts. They're living in Goa, in India. They don't need this external world. They're truly kind of happy with themselves, and they're refusing everyone around. And they can be even like not eating at all, you know, using the prana energy, or solar energy, or whatever. It will be the other way around, yeah. And again, the way of nutrition effects, yes, but of course you have to balance it, yeah. You have to balance, I mean, with a good nutrition, good sleep, I mean, proper physical movement, and with this stress external world, or stress jobs, or even sometimes, you know, people around, or even environment. You know, some people they don't like weather around, might happen, and you balance it again, like, yeah. And as you mentioned also before, I mean, if you just had fun during the weekends, just don't blame yourself. Just be more nice during the weekdays, you know. Next day, okay, instead of alcohol, just drink green juice, you know. Just balance it again, yeah. Because the coffee again is an acidic substance, yeah. Just drink, you know, like the good alkaline substance after. Just balance it, you know. We have pH, yeah, balance in our body, in our blood, everywhere. And everything is about balance, you know. The traditional Chinese medicine call you yin yang, yeah, again, balance. All anxious philosophies, anxious, you know, civilizations, they were always using these balance things, you know, like sun and moon and dark and lights and all this stuff. The same with us. Once we find the balance, the way we kind of think about the problems will change. And if it's not the right day today, it will be right day tomorrow. Just be grateful for opportunities to be here and to live this life, because everyone has a purpose. And if you not discover your purpose, just, you know, discover it, and then it will be even more fun in this world.
I really love this, man. And you mentioned previously about gratitude. We spoke about nutrition, sleep, well-being. What came to mind to ask you is forgiveness. Do you sometimes practice forgiveness, and how important is forgiveness for your well-being?
100%. It's forgiveness very important to others and to yourself, yeah. Especially for ourselves, you know. People sometimes so mad, so blame themselves to do something, you know. But I think the control is just not even to control and restrict yourself from doing something. Is just to answer the questions, you know. Why are you doing so? What will lead, you know, like what will be the actions after? And people sometimes lazy to answer simple questions, you know. Even during the daytime, you know, in the morning, what I mean, when you do in goal settings, for example, for the day, what are you gonna do today? You know, sometimes people so lazy to answer, you know, and then they give this all decision to other people or to the universe, yeah. And then they're not living kind of authentic life, I would say. And at the same time, like forgiveness, I mean, if you didn't do it, it's fine, you know, like just if you mention it, if you note it, it's already one step, you know, like then you analyze it, second step, you forgive yourself, third step, and you do better tomorrow. It's never late. Yeah, I mean, people think, okay, it's late to start something, it's late to improve my sleep, it's late for improve my diet. No, doesn't work, I think so. And it's never late for anything. And especially now, like the world is changing, the quality of life is changing, and duration, lifespan is changing. Even if it's not lifespan, but I would believe like we can live 100+ years easily in this century if it's quality of your life. And before, what was last century was like school, kindergarten, school, university, work, retirement. That's all. Yeah. Nowadays, what you see around, you study, you work, you study, work, study, work, study, work is constantly cycle, and cycle is getting narrow and narrow. It's I mean, and it's much fun to have this ability to stay awake and to improve yourself, to flow with other people, to look at the new generations, the way of thinking. And yeah, I mean, we can already learn, I think, from generation, because they have, I mean, science again says they have much more ability to forgive, and they have much more ability than we, just be more kind of connected to this world. And they're very authentic people. I mean, you can't lie to the young generation, they will feel it 100%. Of course, the cosmopolitans, you know, and
I just want to add to the forgiveness thing, the most effective forgiveness practice. And by the way, forgiveness is not just, it's not for the other person. It's actually you do it for yourself first and foremost.
100%.
When you forgive somebody, you let go of this weight. But the most effective practice I've explored and discovered so far came from actually from a guy from Uzbekistan called Norbekov. He's quite famous in Russia and in Eastern Europe. Um, and I attended one of the courses they had, and there's this really simple practice where they ask you to, you close your eyes and you just, if somebody did something wrong to you, you felt it this way. It could be yourself. You couldn't forgive yourself, even, right? You close your eyes and you try to. The first step is you relive the situation again with all the pain, with all the. But you see it from a third person perspective. Maybe somebody said something that offended you and hurt you. Maybe somebody did something that you interpreted it's wrong. And the second step is you imagine that you go to this person, and it could be yourself, and you give them the most warm hug that you could, and you say thank you for the lesson, thank you for the gift to learn something new, and to thank you for being in my life. um, and you just let it go. I forgive you for everything. You can even imagine you have a big rock, and you just give him this rock. This was the rock that you were carrying all this time, this weight. And again, forgiveness doesn't mean I'm going to keep trusting this person that lied to me 4 times. It means I'm forgiving, I'm letting it go. So it might mean that when you do this exercise, you just imagine how you part ways with this person. But you just let go of this heavy weight that you are carrying. And then you imagine you're coming back to your flow, you're feeling good, you're in peace, you're confident, and you're just a little bit lighter. And sometimes you might need to do this exercise several times, but it's really good. It's really, really working. So I just wanted to add this. And final question, Artem, for today. We had the final question from Icy, another very, very active person on this stream. And she's asking, have you noticed a connection between holistic health and autopilot?
is the autopilot means in this way, like when we live without
Without being conscious. The way I interpret it is
because autopilot for me
running.
is autopilot also an airplane.
Right. No, like I'm thinking about living as on a night autopilot, like just being reactive and unconscious about the way you live. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure. I see. Let us know in the comments what you meant, but let's assume that's what you meant.
Okay, like I just like then let's talk about holistic health. Yes, what's the beauty of holistic health? And before we were calling this alternative medicine or prevention medicine, holistic health. Yeah, for example, the person has a pain in his back, and then before he used to go, even now, like you go to the doctor, and then doctor gives you pills, pain pills or whatever, and then tells you go to another doctor and so on. Yeah, and basically the and holistic health approach to this problem, it would be that, okay, you have a pain there, it's physical pain, you feel it, but it might come, the source of this pain, from your mental health, yeah, from your stress. And then, for example, the expert will get understanding about your work balance, about your well-being, what your routine, what kind of the distress happened recently. It might be a source of this pain. And then again, you go into another doctor, for example, traditional Chinese medicine, and he will do acupuncture to your body, or he will discuss, like your organs. He will do proper actions, and again, like it's interconnected with your energy field. Then you go to the naturopathy doctor, yeah, or Ayurveda or nutrition doctor, and then he will ask you about your diet, because your diet might cause, your kind of the way of your meals from the last week or from the long-term perspective can also affect your body and then create a pain. And then because everything inside us, all the organs are interconnected. And just short example, our vision, everyone want to have good vision, and then everyone knows that blackberries and blueberries very effective and very supportive to our vision, but nobody exactly understand and think about like why these berries are good for vision. And actually our vision is connected to our liver, and these blackberries and blueberries, they're black and kind of blue, dark blue color. They're very effective to our liver, and once we heal our liver will heal our vision, and so on. Like it's just big circles around us. And the holistic health, what it does, it basically it takes and heal your body, physical body, energy body, your psychic energy, subtle energy, and then you are becoming like a good, healthy person. And then what does it more? Basically, you get rid of all your pains and problems, and then you have a goals. For example, you want to improve your business leadership, and then holistic health also can improve, enhance this competency. For example, from the nutrition point of view, they will work on your microbiome, again, your gut health. They will seed good bacteria in your gut, and you will have a better decisions tomorrow. From the mindfulness, mental health, you will get like dynamic meditations. You will get mindfulness practices. From the movement perspective, you will get, for example, Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, which is very dynamic flow, which is energize you. You will get gong meditation, sound bath healing, and so on. Again, kinesiology. And there are like more than 100 specialization of the holistic health expertise. And this is the beauty of this. And that's why it's called preventive medicine, because you're not only getting rid of disease, you're preventing all disease, and at the same time you're getting your goals much faster and more sustainable and you're getting more fundamental aspects of your being. For example, about motivation, you do courses, or you do, I don't know, YouTube videos 24/7, just to find these motivations and so on. It will work, but it will work for short term, and it will work for just for a while, and then just to get fundamental motivation and to get this feeling of confidence, you have to go inside of you. You have to go on your emotional feeling level and use your, as I said before, psychic energy. Yeah, you have to recreate, for example, the situation you've been before, and you just basically redo this again with your psychic energy, because for your brain doesn't matter do you see this or not, it's just the same. That's why like all this affirmation, visualization work, because you just go inside your brain, you believe in it, you believe what we are doing because you see it inside your brain, you have these patterns, and again it works, and it will give you much more fundamental motivation, fundamental confidence than any other video, for example.
I love the first of all, the idea of the holistic approach towards everything, because everything is interconnected. And when you talk about the example with the YouTube video and motivation, it reminds me of this famous quote or example from Zig Ziglar, who was saying, motivation is like shower. You need to take it daily. People are like, I don't want to get motivated. Yeah, but like, it's not just, if you take 10 times shower a day, it's not going to be make you more cleaner. Like you maybe just have to shower once or twice, right? But you still have to do it, and you have to find your own ways. And it's really about the habit. It's about the consistency, the regularity of doing these things. Morning routine, drinking water, drinking your green juice. I mean, if you do the perfect day for one day, you don't do anything. But if you create the habits, the supportive system, something that you can do without being super hard for you, right? Something that's for you simple, easy. It's part of your dynamic lifestyle, maybe, so you can do it over and over again. The compound effect is what makes the difference. It's not the thing that you do once and you do it perfectly. And I love what you said about that. It's not so much about the method or the tool. It's about the consistency, and you adapt and iterate and make it better and better and better with time. And Artem, I want to talk to you like for 2 more hours or a week, but since the time is flying, I just want to bring the ball back to you and to ask you, where could people find more about you, about what you do, about your projects, and maybe connect with you online?
Thank you, sir. And I'm very welcome on the Instagram page is a Spiro Pilot, as I said before. You can also Google SPIROCOOKING website, or Spiro Health is our health tech project, which we're going to launch in US soon. And Facebook, LinkedIn, everywhere. Artem Spiro, you will find me.
Artem Spiro, ladies and gentlemen, go find him, can connect. And final message, Artem, to everybody right now in this very, very interesting year, 2020. What would be your final message to people who are maybe struggling, having difficulties with their business, maybe with their health, with going through uncertainty and turbulence? What would be your final message?
I would say just be kind to each other, because everyone on their journey. It's the most important thing, just cultivate empathy in yourself.
I love it, man. It's kind of like sometimes we're too fast to judge, and especially in times like this, understanding, like leading with compassion, with empathy, with understanding is such an important message. And I'm really grateful for having you today. Really grateful for everybody who joined us for a cup of coffee, a green juice, or a glass of water. One of them, I'm gonna mention her then. Daria, thank you for being with us. She's sharing once again. Thank you so much for this stream. It was great having you, and we are happy that you enjoyed it. And those of you who are watching or listening to the podcast, please, if you really had the part of the podcast that you liked, it was a story or an example, uh, try to see what is something practical. What is the one practical thing that you can take out of this stream, and let us know how it works if you applied it. And that being said, it's been a pleasure having you, Artem.
Thank you, Stan.
Everybody, thank you for joining, and see you at the next episode at Coffee and Productivity. Have a good one.